All right, what's going on? Thank you guys, everybody. Kind of last second screen share. Just wanted to, this exact idea was what I was going to talk about, and it kind of played out as soon as we started talking. But the most important thing, and somebody mentioned this, like how much they like the W patterns. You can call them what you want, double bottoms, W patterns. Just notice how much they play out. So this technically, yes, it's a pattern, but you got a W, right? You got a double bottom with a bear trap. That is a great sign, and you got this huge run up based on that. Like when you get when the bears get trapped, like you get this long wick, right? That's a good sign. Like Mr. Market Maker, they'll run the lows. They're going to stop everybody out. How many times you get stopped out, and then the price action takes off the other way, right? And so you'll see that happen all the time. The other day, I talked to you about like these long wicks. A lot of times you'll get long wicks, and especially this one, and this is a double top with a long wick. And you guys see that? You got overbought bearish divergence. If you are going to pay attention to divergence, which you need to, the highest success ratio of divergence is going to be when your RSI is overbought way up here or oversold. Because this is an oscillator. It goes between 0 and 100. So it's pretty much maxed out when it's up at these levels. So it's not going to pull, like if you go into, my trading view's bugged, I think. If you go into, like, look at the MACD, runs down here. Here it is. Look at the MACD. Like it's not, like it's all over the place. Like it's all, this MACD can go all over the place. But the RSI will have, it's that's not a very straight line, Chris. Let me show you. But the RSI is going to have a specific, okay, here is overbought and here is oversold. So once it's hitting those levels, like it's pretty much at its max. But you don't get that with the histogram. You don't get that with the MACD. These are all over the place. They're indicators. So RSI being an oscillator, 0 to 100, you get the best confirmation of your so this would have been bullish divert that you had. Okay. So look, and somebody posted, and I posted it in group. You take the ideas for your trade, right? Write them down, right? Bullish case, bearish case. And just think about the bullish ideas right here, right? Number one, you got a falling wedge. These are my favorite. There's a 68% chance that these break out to the upside. And it's probably higher than that unless Bitcoin dumps. I know this is Bitcoin, but I'm just saying, like on the altcoins, like it's a very high win rate unless Bitcoin dumps, right? And so you've got that going for you as far as the bullish case. Then, so you write down in one column, bullish idea, falling wedge. And then you add, you've got a double bottom. So what you want to look for on these falling wedges is a double bottom near the apex or a higher low near the apex. Bullish divergence right here, like on the, if you go to the 4-hour chart, you'll probably be able to see it better, but you see you got this low is this low, right? And then this low is slightly higher on the RSI than this low. Here, it's such a lower low. That's major bullish divergence. You go to 4-hour, let's see what it looks like. All right, so see it there? You can see it. It's crisp and it's clean. but it's oversold. You see how this goes down here? It's at 22. It's at 24. So it's, you got bullish divergence, huge bullish divergence. And so you're writing that down in a column on a piece of paper on your whiteboard. Why am I going to enter this trade? Why? Write down bullish and bearish ideas. Right? And so the most important thing is I was watching Bitcoin. I'm just like, what the heck? I was trying to time it so that I caught this before it freaking dumped. But when you're looking, so if you're looking on, so this is 4-hour chart right now, right? So ignore the Bitcoin. But you had essentially, you look at it right here. What is it here in the 4-hour time frame? You got your bull trap. You got bulls are trapped right there. Bulls got trapped. This is a bearish retest right here. Like we always assume that the price action goes. I mean, if you lose major overhead, if it's previous support, previous support, previous support, previous support, previous support, it's resistance. You have to assume the downside idea, right? The daily, if this candle here would have came and closed up here at 27,600, different outcome entirely, right? And so this thing, use the 1 and the 2 hour to front run some of these ideas. Hang on 1 second. But yeah, it's like you walk away from this market for a little bit, or you go to sleep, and like the market changes so quickly, right? I got to a point where like I couldn't hold the coins very well, and this was years ago. Couldn't hold the coins very well. Like if I woke up and I'm like down $200,000, like it ruins the day for me. I can't, like, what works for me psychologically is not holding a bunch of coins for a long time, especially when there's bearish ideas, which is right here. We've had this idea in place for a while now. Where is this daily going to close? Is it going to be a lower low than here? Right? Is it going to close here? Or I mean, you've been getting these huge wicks to the upside, but is this the bearish retest which takes us much lower? The one thing I just wanted to kind of reiterate with you guys is these double tops, and I want you to see on the 4-hour chart double top. Still got rejected, right? Same level, double top. Probably go to, there's 2 double tops on the 1 hour. There's double top here. You see it, right? Tiny double top with a bull trap. Bulls got trapped. Did they get punished? The double top right here. Top. Clearly double top. Right? And then it's a lower low. I mean, it gets confirmed right here, but everybody... Now, your RSI is all the way down here at 23, which is low. There's this support level here now. And I talked about how, you know, if you lose, really it was this trend line, which gave us this fake out, and bears got punished on this small move. But remember, the smaller time frames are not very significant big picture. Like I said before, I closed out I had some Bitcoin a little bit, I had some Ethereum, and I left Litecoin to run. I sold some. It was kind of scattered, but I sold some, but then I should have sold it all. Like today, I was just, like I said, personal stuff going on. Like most people, like if you're at work, like there's a disadvantage because you're not able to kind of watch what's going on in the market. And like I said, I take half a day to get my mind right and, just get groceries, just drove around, just fresh air, get outside, come back and this stuff's just playing out. Like this market, it's just always something. And the huge advantage of our group is you constantly have people posting and updating these charts. So the most important thing is right now, so you're holding this support level, right? But you see the big volume spike? When I say let volume be your guide, you lost this level. This was resistance, so this key level, right? You lost it. So what you don't want to see is a bearish retest where it comes up here and if it doesn't see this low, high, and then this is a lower low. This is not good. And then bearishly retesting would be more downside, and you could see a move down here, which we talked about. Make sure to watch the YouTube stuff. Like the YouTube stuff is so technical at this point, like nobody understands it. Like the channel doesn't gain a lot of traction because it's pretty much geared towards you guys. Most people are, I'm just sitting here watching like some of this senseless YouTube, and it's just like, this coin is going to 100x. And I'm just like, that's what people want. They don't want to learn the technicals, but want to learn. I'm telling you, what changes your life is this, right? However, I will say you're in the right. It only takes one coin, right? Like my one coin was panic situation drop, BNB, panic situation drop, right? And that was amazing. But it took me so long to build up the capital to have that much to put in BNB in order for it to make such a significant. I mean, I bought it at $9. I mean, I bought Neo real cheap and 3x'd it. There's which 3x maybe doesn't seem like much, but you take that 3x and then you put it behind a BNB where I didn't sell anywhere near the top. 600 was the top, maybe even higher than that. And I'm like taking profits at 100. I'm up 10. I'm up 10x. I'm not mad. I'm 10. I took profits at 100, 125, like 150, 200, 250. Probably right about there. You can't be mad about 20x, right? And that just gives you the capital to keep going. And the whole idea here in this group and in this market is longevity. If you don't quit, you will win. Because Bitcoin is designed to go parabolic, period. Like they are going to, I mean, when the Bitcoin halving comes, half the amount of Bitcoin is going to be produced. They've already made like 19.3 million Bitcoin. They're only going to make 21 million. And Bitcoin is going to be shorter in supply. I mean, this thing is designed to run up. And so we're going to have an amazing bull market. I'm really looking for, and like last 4 months, 2024. for the base melting price action. But right now is when you want to practice and hone your skills. And when the trading's good, which when this thing when Bitcoin ran from 15,000 to 30,000, like all the spot longs made ridiculous amounts of money. And finally, and like I was like, yeah, I don't really want to get into leverage. And then it's like 3x leverage, and the power of being able to short the market, it changes the game, because it's like immediately, and I know I could name off people that immediately are always bullish. And they're at a disadvantage because because they're only trading long. And so they try to put a bullish spin on a lot of different things. And as soon as you look at a chart, you're like trying to figure out why it's bullish. But as soon as you start shorting, even like 2 or 3x shorting, as soon as you start shorting, we're going to get another video. Joe, let's work on another video from MEXC, just more in-depth, like trading ideas. Because the idea of a trader is this market, you have to be able to take advantage of it, especially now, going both directions. I just want you to practice with small amounts, and the way that the functionality is amazing on MEXC. Like, it's amazing. And so I think they're going to gain a bunch of traction. I remember, so I used to buy BNB back in the day for like $3 or $4. Like it would go from $3 to $4. I'd sell it. I'd buy it $3. It'd go to $4. I'd sell it. Right. And KuCoin was at 84 cents. We nailed midterm holds on KuCoin, KCS, and BNB. Because as soon as the market turns around, you write this stuff down, like soon as the market turns around, when the new money starts coming in, those exchange coins have a value because they're going to save you money on trading fees. Or if you hold them, if you hold KCS, like you get free KCS. MEXC has this thing where if you hold MX coins, then you get the airdrops. And I really want to go over it in detail, but like there are these coins that are no-name coins, and you go to Twitter and like these coins are just their market caps are so tiny. And it's like as soon as one large influencer talks about them, and it's going to happen because these projects are going to pay YouTubers for marketing. Like that's what they do. They're going to come out, they're going to promise everybody the world, here's what we're going to do. How many metaverse coins from KuCoin? We're going to change the world forever. Facebook too got their teeth kicked in. Meta, Facebook, they put like $10 billion into metaverse. And it's like just totally kicked them in the teeth. Like it hasn't taken off yet. It just hasn't. Trying to do two things at one time, sorry. But the most important thing is this stuff, when it takes off, it gets so easy to trade these coins. Like you just won't even believe, because everybody is normally enters the market spot long positions, right? What coin do I buy and hold? What coin do I buy and hold? That's normal thought process, right? And that thought process will lead us to face melting price action. And it gets, I'll do midterm holds. I'll do, like, it's going to be amazing. we're not there yet, but we have to have these skills in place for it to happen. And so that's why I'm going to do more screen shares. We're going to do more videos. We updated the videos. We're going to continue like constantly just keep showing up. And I know like a lot of people, like they're like, I don't understand this. This doesn't make sense. Like we have a beginners group. I moved Joe here from across the country. Number one, he's an amazing man, amazing person, amazing friend, and he cares about your success. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I have. Like Trip, the other admins, Rob, all the other admins, like they care. They do this because they care about, they just want you to have what they have. Or you, there's a buddy of mine. I was like, you know what? Listen, sit down. Let me tell you the secret. So 1% of people know the secret. The secret is when you sit at home and you make your money go to work. If not, you get stuck in the hamster wheel of life. I'm going to show you this, and this guy has no idea anything about trading. I'm going to help you with this because I know like you're short on work right now, and I think capturing some of the ideas and the questions, and it really helps me because it makes me realize that, and Joe's a lot better at basics because like I take things automatically, like, okay, assume that people understand it, but we have new people joining the group. So Joe's videos are very important because he's kind of taking it back to the basics. And we want you guys to understand the ideas. And your questions in the beginners questions group are going to get answered. Your charts are going to get analyzed. Right? And so understand like we are going, like nobody else is doing what we're doing. And it's for a reason. It's because we care. I want to be the one you like look back in life and you're like, dude, there's this YouTuber and he was different. He was a real freaking person. He really freaking cares. He should have been at the Miami Bitcoin conference partying with everybody else, but he's on screen share middle of the day because he wants to see everybody succeed. And this market's going to throw curveballs at you all the time. And you have to look for it. And you have to say, think about this third person. Like, what is everybody else going to do here? What is everybody else thinking? Not what should I do? What am I going to do here? It's like, what is everybody else going to do? And then base your trades because most people are going to be wrong. And so, just like buying the top of green candles, obviously, that's not a good idea. Hang on one second. But yeah, like today, I just wanted to reach out to you guys and make sure. Hang on one second. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Sorry about that. All right, so right now, price action Bitcoin. You've got this huge red candle, right? Bearish engulfing candle. Why is it bearish engulfing? Because if you look at all these candles over here, like it engulfed, like this is hourly. So this is, multiple hours. We're just engulfed by this red candle. Now, if this thing comes back up here and bearishly retests, you're going to come back down. This level over here extends, right? And you had this double top here. This double top here. You had, okay, so this is exaggerated bearish divergence right here. Who doesn't know what that is? When you have your price make a double top, right? But then there's a chart. I'm gonna post it. Or Joe, will you post the divergences chart in announcements? Look, you've got a high and a lower high on the RSI. But on the price action, you got a high, and it's almost a higher high here, but it's still a double top. And it gets confirmed here. And so it's at resistance where this price action got rejected, right? And then it gets confirmed on a break here. And this volume spike, and you see how I just extended, like a lot of times I'll take and look at these parallel channels. I'll just kind of take, what's crazy about these trend lines is they're respected for an extended period of time. And see how other people post them, and I prefer to kind of look at this because you've got your low, and then technically this is a lower low, right? And so I'm thinking, are we going to get a falling wedge? I mean, this is a much just sideways chop right here, but look, what are the chances? And so remember, you can just control anything, control it, and it will drag it, and it will double it. Like you could just put those everywhere. Just hold down control and drag your mouse, click on something. And then control Z, like zebra, rewind. But more than anything, I wanted to kind of add these trend lines to see, okay, maybe falling wedge. But right here, if you get a bearish retest, you're still working with this support level over here. So there should be some buyers right here. But again, 1 hour time frame, like it's just going to form this range at this point. But all the big important decisions happen right here. It's hard to, somebody said, I opened up a long at, I forget exactly what it was, but it was like 27,100. And I'm like, if you make a habit at opening up longs right below the ceiling, you're going to lose a majority of the time. I'm like running to the computer the other day. Like as soon as I saw this long wick, I'm like, okay, here's your bear trap. And we got, it's only a 7% gain, but I'm super excited just to right place, right time, nailed it, right? And this market, like that's why it's tough for me to go to sleep and leave a bunch of money in this market all the time. There's a point where I just like to trade when the trading is really easy. Like when you're new in the market, you have to kind of hustle a little bit more and trade a little bit more because you're trying to build up the bag. Right? You're trying to build up the bag. It takes a couple bull cycles to get enough capital to retire, which that is the goal. Like 4-year plan, write it down. I'm really looking for, a huge bullish cycle on the 4-year idea because it's just, we're going to have a halving run up. We're going to have an amazing bull run. I think 4-year times, next year, last 4 months. But you got to be able to make money here. And so that's why MEXC and shorting have been formally introduced. We have a leverage group, and it's just like kind of debugging it. I want to make sure that people don't lose money. And it's like, how do I, and it's basically going to be an interview. Like, are you using small amounts? Are you, and so there's going to be more to it, but it's just like, I get so many people that are just like, they're really good traders. There's one guy, he paid for a couple people to join the group on just randomly that he didn't even know. He said, Chris, just do a giveaway. And then next thing you know, he hits me up and he's like, I got to go back to work. I just lost everything. I got liquidated. And it's higher risk. You definitely don't want to trade. Listen, when you trade, if you trade in leverage, if you're trading, like divide it up into 3 bags. Like, so if you blow one bag, you still got your other 2. Like, don't go all in on a leverage trade. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Right? You don't ever go all in crypto. All right, real quick, let me run through some questions. Ledger backdoor issue. So I read somebody talking about it's only like $50,000 is like the maximum. My thought was I'm not going to do the upgrade. I've got a handful of them, but I do have some other ones here. Ledger has just been, it worked from the beginning. It worked. And then they had a situation where all the names and phone numbers got hacked. And then you get people thinking they're getting Ledger contacting them like, oh no, there's security risk. And like they're getting emails about their Ledger because they lost. And then I kind of got disappointed by that whole situation, but I haven't personally had any problems because I know not to trust anybody ever reaches out for financial questions or Bitcoin questions, or like, it's pretty hokey. It's pretty like if people's renewals are up, then someone will contact you, but like no one's going to contact you. And about like, there's so many scams. It's just ridiculous. There's like 20 fake me's, and they're even like scamming the projects, saying, yeah, oh yeah, I'll work for you. And then I get these projects hitting me up like, why'd you scam us? I'm like, what? You think I don't know. Like, integrity is a big thing for me. And it's just, all the leeches, they're trying to trick us. They're trying to take our money. Just remember that. I'd have to do more research on the Ledger stuff. Like, at this point, I'm still using them. OP token unlocks 238 million on 530. So you guys understand that question. Just means that people will be able to sell if they bought in early. They'll be able to sell. And a lot of that has to do with the market, but an interesting idea is Coinbase's stock. When it went public, all the bigwigs at Coinbase dumped their shares. Government interference, just part of it, man. Hoop Jumper's anonymous. Like, it's always going to be there until they come out. And they said, hey, we're not in a hurry to do so. So they come out with some more really good guidelines. Gets tough. It's just jumping through hoops. Same thing it's always been. It's Binance kicks us off. That was the best thing that ever happened to the group because we're freaking killed it on KuCoin because all the money went to KuCoin. And that's where I think MEXC is setting up. If they keep doing things right, they do good marketing. They set up a website for us. They gave us half price trading fees. Like, they're motivated to It's all about marketing, and that's going to bring more people there. And they've got coins like dexes. Let's face it, they're hard to use. I know I've got people that have made hundreds of thousands of dollars on dexes trading, and super high Ethereum fees and all the, you got to dig in the mud to get the gems. The earlier you get them, the better. So dexes, sure, that's one thing, but there's a bunch of crap and a bunch of rug pulls. Like you see somebody on Twitter and they're like, I got just 5 rug pulls this week. And so you got super high risk stuff. But then the next step up is MEXC, where you have even newer coins. As soon as they come off the dexes, MEXC. And then MEXC has an MX token. And if you hold it, you get these airdrops and whatnot. So, and I'm working on something I'll put together for you guys as far as that goes. Margaret, she said she's practicing moving up stop losses to prepare for the money to flow into the market. Yeah, stop losses, like this market is designed to stop you out and go the other direction. Why? Because that's what the market makers want to do, because it brings liquidity. All of a sudden, you're a holder, right? You're a holder. You're in the trade. You get stopped out. Then you're a buyer again. So the market maker gets to make another trade, and they're these high frequency trading bots, and they trade super fast, right? And they stop you out, and they make money, because then you're back into the trading pool, and you're a buyer again. They get to make the money back on your trade. There's a video on how market making works and how banks are the market makers in the stock market. And there's different companies that work for the coins and the exchanges, and they keep the spread tight. Sometimes on KuCoin you'll see like these, looks like a big group of sellers, and you buy a little bit, and it's just not even, it's fake. It's just the market makers like manipulating. That's why you can't really watch the order books, because it's manipulate. It's real easy to manipulate. I'm just running through these questions real quick. Allison, so happy to have you in the group. Yeah, it's a lot of this stuff on a daily basis is going to add up to future success that you're going to look back on, and your experience is the best teacher. Period. It is the best teacher. We could have 20 screen shares. I could tell you every mistake I ever made, and I'm going to try. But there's a point where you have to experience holding a bear market and the pain of just, it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. It's going to turn. And it just never does. Like, there's a point where you got to realize, okay, taking profits is the way to go. And I ended up very cautious, and I don't take a lot of trades that are higher risk. And I go big when it's like altcoin season and you got Bitcoin dominance just rolling over, dumping, huge downtrend. Like, it's so easy. It's ridiculous. And it's like, why spend the time sitting here trying to force trades on smaller term time frames? But it's great practice. It's great practice. You have to experience is the best teacher. But you don't, like this stuff right here, like I said, don't judge your trading skills based on this stuff. Like this is not amazing trading, right? The short-term trading is a different thing, and that helps you get good practice out of this. But what other questions do you guys have? Super Crypto Girl, what's going on? Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like Joe is going to take as much time as possible, and explain things in detail. And sometimes it takes that. The admins, the great thing about the admins is they started in the group knowing nothing. And I've seen so many lives changed, and it just makes it all worth it. And it's your turn. If you haven't made a ton of money in this market, it's coming. It's coming. But you're going to have run-ups, and you're going to have markdown phase, and you're going to have, but the easy money will get here. And the best part is like your trading and knowledge kind of peak at a point. There's a law of diminishing returns. You could be a trader for 20 years, but after 10 years, you're probably just as skilled, real close to it, right? After, a year of trading, you'll look back and you'll exponentially you learn in the beginning. Like at first you're just kind of like trying to break even. And then you catch on to a few more things, and you write down, make that list. Bearish ideas, bullish ideas. Why am I going to enter this trade? It's like you're going in front of the judge, trying to build a bullish case or a bearish case. If you want to have 3 or 4 things stacking up on bullish ideas for you to open a long, and then you want to go look at Bitcoin, and you can split the screen right here. And you could have Bitcoin on half. If you don't have 2 monitors, you can use this. But I recommend adding monitors. It makes it so much better. Every time I added a monitor, I thought, and 2 was fine for a long time for me. Then I added a 3rd, and of course I got other things going on with YouTube and whatnot, but adding monitors, like having a trading station, writing down things on your like Litecoin halving, like writing things down, like will help you remember everything. You got to be organized. Like you don't just go to work and just like wing it. Like, well, didn't bring my briefcase today, or I didn't bring my laptop, or, I'm just kind of see what happens. I'll just talk to everybody else and see what's going on and try to catch up. Like the more notes that you make, the more organized you are, the more profitable you'll be. And there'll be a ton of news coming, like these coins. When the market is real bullish, the coins right now, they're holding news back right now. And they start putting out this news, and it's going to have a date ahead of it. And like we used to run these together, like Tron mainnet launch, Tron testnet launch, the SXP like midterm hold, like all these midterm holds with news. What was there's the mainnet launches, like you get like 80% run up on these coins just on the hype factor, because people search and they see, okay, there's this mainnet launch, and everybody thinks that, okay, well, it's all, when the mainnet launches, the coin's going to be worth more, and it's really the opposite. That's when all the traders are going to take advantage of the newer folks that think, oh man, ADA's going to do this, and they're launching this, and all this is coming out, and it's coming out on this date, and we nailed all the ADA ideas, and then ADA rolls over after a lot of the news. I mean, the thing ran from like, I think it was like 3.58 cents, and it runs up to $3. Like ADA, crazy. Yeah, 3x is a good safe number. Okay, so Adam brings up a good question, and this is and Joe, and we've been talking with Trip about this more too. It's really plan A, plan B. That's very important, because let the chart tell you what to do. Let the price action tell you what to do. Just as an example, listen, if there's, this is an example. Let's just say Plan A is you get a breakout and bullish retest with volume. Like that's where you load major longs because it's not supposed to happen. Because this is supposed to be like shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulders, right? Something bearish. Call what you want. You lost it with volume confirmation. And then the bullish retest, you have to assume that there's more downside. That's why it said bearish retest from the very beginning, a week, 2 weeks ago when I posted this. Because you're biased, you're like yelling at the bulls, why can't you hold this freaking level? Like, look how many times the buyers bought here, bought here, bought here. I gotta get this out of there. It's confusing. Look how many times the price reversed here, here, and then you lose it. And then you come up here and we call it the kiss of death for a reason. Now, are you going to lose this level? If you see, you got this wick right here, wick right here. It's the only thing holding it. And so it's super hard to load tons of longs. Like down here, it was great. That's why I freaking ran up, like running my office. I saw it playing out and I'm like, okay, bearish, bear trap. And it's just like on my legal team, like it's, hey, Chris, you're, I have to basically use certain terminology. And so bear traps is a good time to buy. Bull traps, good time to sell or short, right? And so when we nailed quite a few of those on the way down, like this one, we nailed, look, we nailed, what the heck is that? You guys can still see the screen, okay? Okay. So Matt asks about, Matt, what are you doing, dude? How are you? And you've been with me for a minute. I'll remember your name. The 2-hour chart. You had this rising, broadening wedge. And you got volume coming in. A little bit of a double top. Back here, you had these huge springs when it was tested. Right? So will it be a bear trap? Like you don't know until it comes back up here and bullishly retests this level. You understand that? Like that's where you wait for the wick, assuming you're not in the trade because this was a lower high than this. Like your lower highs are sell signals. I mean, if you trade every single lower high on a 2-hour time frame, you're going to be a day trader, and that may not fit into your life. But this was a bull trap we called. This was a bull trap that we called, and then this is what happened. And a bunch of people MEXC shorts and just completely killed it. And so I was super happy about that. I'm real big on vetting. Like, I'm going to try a new idea or try a new exchange or try a new anything. I'm going to put 10 or 20,000 there and like let it sit there and let me take the hit before you guys do. You know, let me take the hit. So again, on the 1 hour, you don't want to see this come up here and get rejected. And so is this a pattern that we're looking at here with these dotted lines where this becomes like this falling wedge and this is just working in a range? Give me some questions. But yeah, plan A, plan B, I'm telling you, that's the key. Long, short. And you, okay, so let me just draw a pattern and just give you an idea. I wonder if we have anything posted. Just something simple, right? Let's say you've got, this is technically a bullish ascending triangle, right? What do you think Litecoin's in right now? But you got the price action working. You're putting in higher lows, right? So that's bullish because people are willing to pay more every time the price comes down than they did the last time. So that shows an increase in demand, right? Understand these psychologically. Why is this bullish? Now, this is only a 64% chance breaks higher. And it depends on which way the trend, which way the trend comes in. But this thing breaks lower, plan B, short it. If it breaks higher, long. You can open up, and one thing I want to talk to you guys about is opening up, like if Bitcoin looks like if you just see a bear trap on Bitcoin and this coin, this altcoin is down here, like you can buy at support and then your stop loss can be pretty close. What I like to do, always set an alert and a stop loss, because on some of these exchanges, you will not have very good liquidity and your stop will get skipped, right? The price action moves fast and it will skip your so have an alert. So like I'll get an email and I'll know exactly what happens. And I'll get alerted and I'll be able to go decide, okay, is Bitcoin pulling some kind of fake out, or are the masses about to get tricked and trapped? And then I'll just leave it run. So I don't always, depending on if it's really good conditions where it's really good trading, I don't necessarily have a stop loss. I just I've got sirens going, all the computers turned up loud and sirens are going off. If an alert goes off, it's only during certain market conditions. Like I want to be, if I'm spot long, I want Bitcoin dominance to be headed lower. I mean, that's like altcoin season. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. There's so many charts to watch, and that's one thing that's great about the group is like you constantly have people posting charts, and we're to the point now where the admins, and Joe, we post a list of admins. These are the people that have been through a lot and they've seen the traps and the tricks and whatnot. But when Bitcoin dominance is working higher, this is not good for altcoins, right? Typically, altcoins take a hit, right? This means, and this is an oscillator as well between 0 and 100. But this means that right now, Bitcoin makes up 47% of the entire market share. And so, I mean, will you get some type of breakdown out of this pattern? And you'll see altcoins outperform Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin is falling, all that means is maybe altcoins don't fall as much. So it doesn't give you direction, but it helps you time the moves. And so, for example, let's see. But it helps you time the moves. Like anytime I see this double bottom down here, and I talked about it multiple times. Like you're looking for this upside, won't be pretty for a lot of the altcoins. Now, if Bitcoin takes off, it's still going to drag the altcoins higher. But you know how you see Bitcoin, it'll have a 5% gain. Then Ethereum will be up 10%. That's when Bitcoin dominance is going down. When Bitcoin dominance is going up, Bitcoin will outperform 95% of the altcoins, right? It'll outperform. And so we're constantly trying to find the anomalies in the market. And it's not easy. You know, and Litecoin has news. It's Litecoin halving. Bitcoin halving. And Rip nailed the breakout of it. People that traded it with leverage made even more money. I think it was up like 17%. I think I saw it posted. And you have to take advantage of the news, the coins with news. If you're new, they have a higher win rate. The most important thing is do not lose money right now. You're going to need it. It's like ammunition. I always say, if you ever play a first person shooter, you got to have ammo to even have a chance. You run out of ammo, then what? So understand that right now, if you're new, it's about learning. And like Bitcoin sideways chop, I told you, like, it's not easy trading. It is not easy at all. Especially when I get an email, someone said, I opened at 27,100 a long. Well, if this is a ceiling, and you're open up at 27, and he's frustrated, he's like, I got stopped out. And I'm thinking, well, there's a double top. This is what sparked this video. And there's a double top, and then you've got this confirmation of the double top breakdown right here. And then you open right here, and it was a long. After you just put in a lower high. If you just, real simple, like if you're brand new in this group and you want a trading strategy, I want you to watch for double bottoms, falling wedges. Whenever you get double bottoms, falling wedges, like divergence takes some time to learn, right? So, but if you're just looking at falling wedges, double bottoms, rising wedges, double tops, M's, they have the highest success rate, right? And so now, like I said, you could be forming this. I should probably draw these as straight lines so it's like it makes sense. But now the question is, are you going to get rejected off of this level here? Or will you, and I'll make these solid, is this, and you're kind of always trying to front run the patterns. Like, what's the next pattern? What's this pattern next? So if you're able, if you flip this level, then you're coming back up here. If you don't, then you're going to see more downside. And so it's like, okay, here, what to watch? Plan A, plan B, right? Get rejected, you lose this level here. There's a trend line. You got one touch, two touch on this upper trend line, one touch, two touch, three touch. Valid pattern. 3 touches on top, 2 on bottom, right? Valid pattern. This could be the third touch and it continues to work higher. But what you do is go to the 5-minute chart, zoom in. You get all this. Technically, it's kind of noise, but this is all we have to work with right now. And so right now we're waiting, as pattern traders, we're waiting for an edge. You need an edge. And so the edge, you've got to break back up above this level. Right here. You see how you get, I mean, it's not perfect. It's all these trend lines, like, it's not a line, it's kind of a zone. It's pretty close though to spot on. But definitely resistance is a zone. But you see here, you got one rejection. This is with the bull trap, rejection. You keep getting rejected here so many times. Rejection. There's a small tweezer top right here on the 5-minute time frame. Would have been pretty not very significant, right? And I was trying to get this video out because this is the idea that I pretty much thought was going to play out. So now you gotta flip this. You flip this, and you're looking for higher prices. But if you bearishly retest this, it'll just roll over. And then it's going to look like a disaster on this big chart. So it's like, and this has happened multiple times, and you can go back and backtest these ideas right here. But zoom in to the lower term timeframes. Use the data. All the moves start on the 5-minute time frame. But most of the time, they don't carry over into the higher time frames, and so it's insignificant. But when you're trying to start a trade, plan A, plan B, you got to start somewhere. And so start on the lower time frames if you're looking for an entry point. Once you have a pattern that's pretty well established, like we said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this, I mean, you've got a pattern. I mean, it's well developed. And now it's just about, are you going to flip and regain this level? 26,700 is going to be tough again. Or are you going to bearishly retest it and then there's more downside, right? So plan A, go long here. Plan B, go short here. But really what I'd be looking at is, okay, let me look at the altcoins. What got hit hard? What's got news? What's Litecoin doing right now? What is Litecoin doing right now? And because everybody would love, like Litecoin took off and everybody's like, oh yeah, the halving. I mean, we were even talking about bearish ideas down here, and this thing came down and double bottomed with a higher low. And then Tripp called the breakout right here. He's like moving, like that basically means freaking buy it. Like look at Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin looks decent, get in the trade. And it's taken a hit, but it's also pulled back to support, right? You've got support. Really, here's some resistance, right? So there's plenty of ideas that make this. Here's a couple, 1, 2, 3. There's plenty of ideas that make this a good support level. The RSI, you want to go down and look at that. Okay, we're not quite oversold yet, but like I said, you're splitting the screen, you're watching Bitcoin, possibly 2 monitors. And this is Litecoin. Like you got 14% profits. That's not a big number. If you're trading with leverage or starting to practice, large caps are great to do so because you get small cap gains. You could go to KuCoin and find a small cap. They're in the group, they're posted. You could look for small cap coin to get in, but you're watching. Bitcoin's going to call the move. Bitcoin's going to tell you what to do. Bitcoin, if this gets rejected, downside, short it. If it flips it and heads higher, that's just going to give us a better idea on this idea, right? And make sure watch YouTube. I explained this like falling wedge idea last night on YouTube, totally for you guys. Like I know people just do not understand what we're talking about. Like it's so it's hard for people to understand this, and it's just not going to, what's the next 100x altcoin? That's going to be what people watch, right? The security stuff, like this government stuff, frustrating. It's just like a lot of people ask me about this, and it's just like the SEC is just going to continue to just pick off these exchanges. Coinbase, Wells notice, they're going to get a fine. Like that's just welcome to crypto. Until the United States comes in and says, here's the regulation, and it might even scare some people off. But it'll help because then all your big players, I mean, if you look at coin market cap and you just wonder the potential of the bull market, and you look at $82 billion sitting there waiting on the sidelines. 82 billion, the third largest crypto, who's also buying Bitcoin. And it says with their profits, because obviously the concern would be they're buying, they're loading up. That's what happened with yeah, a lot of coins that go, that really what happened with the whole market, because all these big players like Luna, a lot of big exchanges had a bunch of Luna. A lot of them had over leveraged Bitcoin positions. A lot of these exchanges and Three Arrows Capital and FTX and all, like we shorted the coins that failed. We hit some of the biggest shorts. And now that people have more experience on MEXC, they're going to start entering them. And so we're going to have an even higher success rate in the group. And you start, what you'll realize about shorting is this stuff seems like it normally takes, like it'll take the stairs up slowly. Like it's rare to see this kind of run up, right? But I'm telling you, when this thing dumps on the shorts, you make very quick money because the bottom just falls out, right? Everybody's stop loss start getting hit. Everybody's getting stopped out. Fear in the market, and shorts, you make your money quick. And so, like I said, small amounts and leverage, and then the MEXC link. It's in the description of all the videos, and I'll post it in, or Joe, I think, posted in group. And it's almost like a video. It's so easy. It's almost like a video game, the way they have it set up, where your take profits and your stop losses are. I'm going to post a video. I think someone sent me a video, one of our admins who I talked to recently, and he's like, thank you, man. He's like, thank you, because I'm living the dream. I'm freaking chilling at my house. I'm not working for the man every day. And like, people are just super excited about, it's like the secret. Once you know the secret, like, you just want everybody else to get it because they get stuck going to work every day. This market is so cyclical, though. There's a time where if you're only spot long, like, bear markets are not any fun at all. So just gives you the ability to trade both ways, and it'll help you look at the market and the trading ideas and the setups, not immediately try to be bullish off the rip initially, right? So I just wanted to I was hoping to catch more of this before it happened. But I think you guys understand, and that's what this group is about, like constant repetition, constant. If I repeat myself multiple times on an idea, there's a reason for it, right? So again, just to close this whole idea is, like, you definitely don't want to lose this level, the wicks that are down here. You don't want to lower low either. I mean, you really want this thing to come down here and like form some double bottom, and then this to be some kind of falling wedge. But in order for that to happen, you need a reversal down here. Like right here, this is a double bottom. You see how the price action, move it over a little bit. The price action came down, bounced, and then it came down and bounced again. So you have a double bottom right there. That makes it a strong ceiling, right? Because it double bottomed right there. But like, is there a diagonal in here that makes this a giant falling wedge? Depends on daily candle close. Like your dailies, you're really going to notice, like the weeklies especially, like one candle closes one direction, and that's why it's always like Sunday night, Monday morning volatility, right? Is because there's so much meaning and significance where traders settle up for the week. For the day is good, but like, don't get stuck on the small term time frames, because you're missing a lot. And so you're always like start here and then zoom in from there on all your altcoin charts. But thank you guys for making this possible. We'll keep like Feisty Pants said, if you're new, it works, just stick with it. Lose small, not big. Yeah, start with small amounts. There is no way, if you can't double $100, there's no way you should be using large amounts right now. Like this is the time that it's like practicing for the Olympics happen every 4 years, right? Summer Olympics happen every 4 years. Like this is where we practice and we build up the bags that we need to win the gold medal on the 4-year hype run-up mega rally that we're going to see out of crypto. This is the future. AI is going to be ridiculous. Metaverse will take off. NFTs will come back. You're here. The fact that you're in this group, you acknowledge that, hey, there's a lot more to this than what do I buy and hold? What's the next 100x coin? There's more to this, and there's a better way to do it. And as soon as I figured that out myself, I said, I've got to tell as many people as possible about it. And that led to YouTube, and that led to this group, and that led to, after years and years of success in the group, all of a sudden we've got people that are admins in the group that have had significant success, and they just want the same thing for you, just like I do, right? And so know that our hearts are in this, and we want to help you. You have to put the work in, though. You have to watch the videos. Trip went through, and he made a very concise, like 12 video series. I'll have that posted in announcements. And Joe went through and he made all these beginner videos because we want the knowledge. And it's just the people that watch the videos until it's like, you're just, I can't take it anymore. By the end of the night, I'm watching like totally senseless YouTube, like has nothing to do with crypto. I just can't watch. And you have to be able to just kind of like let your mind focus on this market and then shut it off. And don't let this thing take over, because it will. And it, like my health wise, like be careful. Spend time with your family, do healthy stuff. But again, I thank you guys. None of this would be possible without you guys. Like, we're going to kill it. It's just a matter of time. Continually just keep showing up. I'm dragging you to the top with us. Kicking and screaming like we're going there. It's going to get easier. You can't judge yourself trading on this stuff. If you're frustrated here over some trades that you made, well, it's a bunch of choppy price action. We're at the exact same price we were back here in March, middle of March. Exact same price. It's like, but I'll keep you guys updated in group. We'll have a YouTube video later. And again, thank you guys. We'll keep killing it. Have a great day.